Hello and welcome along. In this video, I'm going to take you through my strategy for getting you started as a new farmer in Farming Simulator 22. We're going to look at the setup you start with here on Baling, and we are going to adjust it so that you are able to make the most money you can from beginning in this mode. The first thing I want to do is make a couple of small changes to the game settings. The first one, or the main one, being that if we look down here and we go to the bottom, you can see all of your AI workers are set to buy stuff as they are working. So we're going to turn all of this off so that they don't buy fuel, seeds, fertilizer, slurry, or manure. This is really useful in preserving how much money the AI workers cost you. The second thing I want to do is have a look at our tractors, because we have 3 of them on here. And to be perfectly honest, you only ever really need maybe a couple of tractors to work your farm. So if we go into the shop here and select here, you can see under the small tractors, we have the 135 horsepower, 70,000 euro Steyr. And under medium tractors, we have the 86,800 190 horsepower Valtra and the 177,600 and 170 horsepower Massey Ferguson. Our equipment that we have on our farm is a 90 horsepower cultivator and a 125 horsepower seeder. So in the medium tractors, we don't actually need both of those tractors. And in fact, all 3 of our tractors here will take a front loader, which is great. So my recommendation here is we are going to go and sell this Valtra momentarily. We should make nearly 100,000 selling it directly to the shop, which will be very useful to us. And as we won't be seeding on this first game day, because it is the wrong time of year really to seed anything other than canola, we can do without this tractor. So let's get the tractors that we are going to be using and the equipment we are going to be using started. So we've got the Massey Ferguson here. We'll connect up the weight and the cultivator. We will pull it forward slightly and we'll get a hired worker working on here. Now, getting the hired worker doing stuff on the first day like this is useful, and it isn't going to cost a huge amount of money. So I recommend it. I think getting the hired workers to help you out in the grand scheme of things is not going to cost you that much. We're going to do the same thing here with our combine harvester. So we'll get that connected up. And I'm actually going to do this field long ways. The combine isn't going to get full very quickly, and as a result, we should be able to keep it fairly empty fairly easily with our Steyr tractor. So let's pull this down here, line this up, and then we can get it going. So down, starter up, in we go, and away we go. And we're going to drop straw with this because we can then sell that straw for more money. So let's switch this over mode-wise, and then we should be dropping straw. And there we go. That's now dropping straw for us. Perfect. Now, to be honest, you should be able to sell any one of these 3 tractors. I have gone for the Valtra simply because it's worth the most value and is far over the amount of horsepower we need. So we've headed up to the shop. We are here at the spanner icon. And if we press R there, you can see, yeah, it's worth 95,469. So sell that. Yes. And okay. And that is our Valtra sold. And we are now up to 195,120. It's going down because we have a couple of hired workers going. So our next thing to do is go and set ourselves up to drop some grain. And the next thing to do is to go and set ourselves up to do some productions with our grain. And we want to do this by looking for a sell point for grain on the map that has this symbol here. In fact, this is probably where we want to be. This is the grain mill. It is a production point. And if we head to here, we can see that it should have, so it has a production point there, a tipping point there, and round here we have another spanner. So if we click on this, we can see that this building will cost us 96,000 euros. And this is the reason for selling the tractor. If we can sell the tractor and buy a production place, we can actually make more money. This is because if you look under the value of selling wheat at the moment, the value of selling wheat everywhere is around about, well, it's 1,000 euros or less. Le Jardin de Fermier Farm Shop, that is at 1,025 euros. Now, if you sell the flour we produce here, you can see the price is at 1,600. So that's a 1.6 times multiplier over the highest price for the wheat on its own. However, if we look at the production chains, we lose 20% in the overall production. So we're actually only making about a 1.4 increase in value, but it's still good. We can also we also have the production costs here to take into consideration. It's not a huge amount, and it will affect our overall value for the flour out the other side. With our combine working away down on the field, we now have the opportunity to move on to the next stage, which is going to be getting some bales created from our straw. So we'll pop into here, and I'm going to be very careful in the baler I choose here. We want something that's not too expensive, so that we're not spending too much money, but it's still going to work well for us. So it's very tempting to go for the Massey Ferguson 1840 small baler here at only 22,000. But in order to effectively collect up those bales, you need to also get the bale loader, which is 64,000. So the least cost of those two together is going to be fairly expensive. Instead, what I'm going to go for is the Pottinger Impress 125F Pro here. This is a great little baler. It is not too much high horsepower requirement for our tractor, and we can lease it for 2,448. So we will lease that, head back out, and hook that up to the steyr, so that we're then able to head back to our field and get the straw that is already there all baled up and collected, ready to sell. This should cost us a lot less, this setup, to actually do and get done. In fact, 2,400, that is less than a single bale, I believe. Actually, looking at the value of the straw, for 1,000 litres, it's 1,200 and 126, no, 155 at the biomass plant. These bales are 4,000 litres each, I believe. So if we're able to, we should be able to make more money than we've spent hiring this on here. If not, then that is something to take into consideration. But it should be enough to do on here. Yeah, 2,000. Yeah, it's easily enough. So, yeah, it's going to be 4,000 litres a bale. We only have to have 5 bales off this field, 6 bales off this field, in order to make the money back that we've spent to hire the baler in the first place. Means we should easily make some extra cash just from the straw on here. We have our first full trailer from the combine. That will now finish off this field. And we'll now take this and head down to our grain mill, where we can drop it off We'll drop this and the next trailer off, and that way it can start getting to produce our flour ready for us to either sell to the bakery, but with the money we have, we're probably going to be able to buy it and make even more money in our production chain. Having tipped our grain at the grain mill and returned to the field, the combine is now finished. So we want to get that emptied so that that rest of this can be tipped there as well. And so what I'm going to do here is empty into the trailer, get the few thousand liters left that we have. And once this is empty, we can send the AI worker to go and tip this at the mill. One thing to remember, and I keep forgetting this, is if you jump out of a piece of equipment and the engine turns off, then it stops emptying. So you either need to turn the engine start off, or you need to remain in them until they've completed their task. That is empty. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to take the Steyr over here. And we're going to give it a, we're going to create a job for it and tell it to deliver grain mill. Perfect. We're not going to get it to loop. We'll get it to just go there and start job. So the Steyr will now head off, and that will go and tip that. And we can deal with the combine, because the combine is now of very little use to us. We've done everything that we need to on this first year as far as cutting goes, and it's going to be nearly 12 months before this combine is useful again. And rather than have a 100,000 piece of euro piece of equipment sitting there, the money would be much better in our bank account at the moment. So we're going to head over to the shop and get this sold. I actually think that you don't need a combine harvester in any of the, or you don't need to own, let me clarify, a combine harvester in any of the early stages in any game mode. The reason for this is it is a big piece of kit. It's an expensive piece of kit, and you are only going to use it for a few days a year at most. So much better, especially when you're dealing with only 3 fields, to come and get the extra cash. We've got 107,000, 24,000, and 879. And that's a lot of money to be sitting in a shed for a year that you're not going to use. So we'll sell that, like so. Sell the header and sell that as well. And now we have 228,000. 133,336 euros has been freed up by not having a harvester on the farm while we're not using a harvester. I've now gone over the field and baled up all the bales, and we have way more than we need to make sure that we make a profit off this. And one of the very nice things about this baler is actually you are able, if you want to stop early and stop the bales. Unfortunately, we can't unload a partial bale from this, so the remaining straw we will lose, but we would have lost that anyway, so there's not much we can do about that. We'll bring this over here and leave this here. We now need to get something to allow us to collect these up. And to do that, we turn back to our Steyr and down here to the shop. Now, I kind of didn't need to bring my weight with me, but we're going to leave that here and just drop that off in this parking space. We did need to bring the trailer down here, however, because we need to reconfigure both this tractor and this trailer for this next job. We come into here and go to the reconfiguration. One of the nice things I like about FS22 is the fact that you can select what you want to configure here in the workshop. We're going to customize the Steyr first, and I am going to grab myself a front loader attacher. We're going to go with the quickie over the Ahura, and we're going to leave everything else as is. It's going to cost us 1,500 to add that on, so customize that. Yes, please. And then we want to go back and we want to do something similar with the trailer. We're going to customize that and we're going to change it to its bale trailer configuration, which actually won't cost us anything. So there we go. Yes. So there we are with those. And then we need to pop into the shop and we want to grab 2 things. Actually, we want to grab 3 things. We need a front loader and we don't need a particularly big one. So we're going to go for the Q4M here. Design color. I am going to see if we can find the style. There isn't. So, yeah, we will just go with a white. Yeah, perfect. That is going to cost 50, but it's a little bit of detailing. Let's buy that then. And then to go with that, we need 2 pieces of equipment going forward. We are going to need a bale spike. So we'll grab the Albert bale spike. Yes. And we want a set of pallet forks. So we'll grab the pallet forks as well. Yes. Okay. Head back. And then what we can do is come over here. Connect that back up to there. We're going to reverse this up a little bit. Hopefully without causing too much trouble with the dolly trailer. Bring this round. Grab our bale spikes. Or trailer. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the trailer. Grab the bale spikes and put them onto trailer. Now we should be able to strap things down in FS22 for easy transport back. And the reason why I'm doing the bale forks over the pallet forks is because we want to drop the pallet forks off on our way to going and collecting up the bales. So do that there. We then come over here and these should strap down even though it's not going over it. And then we're going to go and grab the trailer with this and head back to the farm. We will drop the pallet forks off at the farm here and then load up the bales. So switch over and back us out carefully. This being a dolly trailer, you don't want to make too many sharp turns. And then once we're out, what we can do is head over to the field and start loading up these bales to make a little bit more money and hopefully set us up even better. And so in total we have 10 bales off this field. All of them will fit on this trailer. They are 5,000 litres each, which at the price of 125 per bale that we were seeing earlier means that we have about 6,250 euros per bale here. Absolutely perfect. That is more than we've spent on our baler to have that and lease that. So yeah, we're in the money. We've got some extra cash here. Now the other advantage of that is that of course goes part way as well to paying for our quickie loader. It pays for the bale spikes and it yeah, so it's basically the bale spikes and the quickie loader. The front loader tools, the pallet forks, those will come out of what we make from the factories. So let's go and sell this and see exactly how much this is worth. And the best price for the straw right now is up at the biomass heating plant. Now I don't know if we can pull straight in over this, but we will find out. No, looks like we need to drop these off here. So let's just bring the trailer to there and back it up a bit. And what I will do is disconnect that and then we'll undo our straps and see if we can just place them straight into it. Go forwards, bring our front loader into position, back it off. There we go. And then we should go into here with any luck. Yep, there we go. 1,500 per bale. We're actually getting 155 euros per 1,000 liters. So, yeah, that's really, really good. In fact, yeah, that's 10,000. Yeah, there we go, 780. So really, really good prices for these bales here are going to take us up again to a nice high price. Let's bring this in here and do that. And we'll just get the rest of these unloaded. And with the final bale, we end up at 224,626 euros. Really good extra little piece of income that means that our wheat field ends up paying even more overall. And so with the bales dealt with, we now turn our attention back to our production. Having given it a little bit of time, we have a couple of pallets of flour ready. We're going to pick these up and take them over to the bakery. Now, to make even more money from this, you could buy the bakery as well. We have got the cash to do that, but I want to demonstrate how much extra we can earn just from having a single production chain. We've only got 2,000 liters of flour here, which is, yeah, not a huge amount. We will still make a decent amount of cash from it as a result. So let's bring this in here and put this down. Yep, and now that we've moved one out of the way and we can get into here, it should be easier to pick the second one up. Right, so pallet physics in Farming Simulator 22 is massively improved over its predecessor. Very, very much liking this. Wait, and then down and into there like that. And off. And then we can just strap those down and get them off to the bakery. Now, the best place to sell this flour is actually Le Jardin de la Fermier farm shop. So we're going to drop this off here. We'll get 1,800 per 1,000 liters. So 2,000 liters, we should get 3,600. Actually, 1,600 per 1,000 liters. Now, if we took this to the bakery and owned the bakery as well, you could get 4,800, nearly 5,000 euros per 1,000 liters. And it is just huge. Now, where is flour accepted at this shop? Is this it here? This might be it here. No. Oh, no, there it is. That's exactly where it is. And in total, we've got, yep, 1,300 plus 1,800, or 1,900 actually is 3,200, which is a lot more than we would have got for just the wheat on its own. That, yeah. The best price at that at the moment is 1,128. So there you go. That is probably the best way to get yourself started. Get yourself on the production chains and get yourself a little bit of extra money. Sell off the equipment that you don't need and make sure that you are making the most of your farm. We started with 100,000 today. We have got up to 227,854. I hope this has been a good grounding for you on getting started on New Farmer. I am going to leave this video here, so all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.